welcome to the 9th event for Jack Johnson, our host. We thank you for taking the afternoon off to come out here and meet with him and hear the special guests that we've got tonight. Could I ask of all the veterans that are currently serving or have served, would you please stand so that we can give you a round of applause? I get the opportunity to introduce our host, someone that all of you know. He's our senator from Williamson County. He's a straight shooter. He's a man that listens. He's a person that we've all learned to love over these last several years, him and his lovely wife, Senator Jack Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. Wow. What a crowd. Thank you for being here today. This is our 9th year of doing this. This event is about saying thank you. Thank you for the honor of letting me be your state senator and go to Nashville and represent what I believe are the real conservative values of this county. You all have my back. I've taken some controversial positions on the conservative side of things, and I'm so grateful and honored for your tremendous support that y'all have given me each and every time that comes up. And it is truly something that I don't take for granted, and it's a tremendous honor. Now, let's get on to our very special guest. I want to start. We have not one, but two, and I'm so honored, United States Congressmen. Want to hear from them. We're going to start with Congressman Diane Black. I had the honor of serving with her in the state Senate for a number of years. She is a dear friend. She's doing a great job representing the folks up a little bit north and to the east of here in the United States Congress. Please welcome Congressman Diane Black.
I want to say what an honor it is to be here with Jack and all of you. Thank you for your support of Jack. I thank all the members from Williamson County. You do such a great job. And as Jack says, we serve together, and he is someone who is bright. He's someone that's pragmatic, that can get things done. Jack and I worked on pro-life issues, and he was able to bring some things across the line that when I went to Congress, I didn't quite see completed. But it sure did my heart good when I got to Congress and knew that I was leaving Jack behind to do that work that was unfinished. He's done a great job. So it's great to be on this stage with great leaders that really care about the things that are important to us. Thank you, Jack, for allowing me to be here with you today.
Thank you, Congressman Black. Okay, now this next person needs no introduction to this crowd because for most of you, she is your United States Congressman. And I say it, but I'm going to say it again. If we had 435 congressmen up there like Congressman Black and Congressman Blackburn, this nation would be in a heck of a lot better shape. That's all I'm going to say. An interesting bit of trivia, Congressman Blackburn held the state Senate seat that I held once removed from when I took office, but she is a dear friend and a tremendous leader in the United States in terms of her position in Congress. So y'all please welcome Congressman Marsha Blackburn.
Thank you so much. What a great crowd. Thank you for being here for Jack Johnson and to hear Governor Scott Walker. Let me ask you a question. How many of you want to make certain that we win the White House in 2016? Yes. You know what? I do too. I do too. And I think in order for us to do that, it is going to take every single one of us getting out there and spreading the word, because the media is not going to help us with that. And let's do our part to teach them some good old Tennessee lessons. We do some things right here. And let's help take that message to other states and to our country so that we see Republicans at the local level, at the state level, at the federal level, and in the White House. Thank you all for being here for Jack. Thank you so much.
Well, I told y'all a minute ago how honored I am to get to not only represent this incredible community, but also to know that I represent a very conservative district. And when I go to Nashville and I'm casting votes and I'm voting my conscience, I feel like it is very closely aligned with the conservative values of my district. I also live in a very conservative state. We live in a very conservative state, and we have had the opportunity to demonstrate that conservative principles work. Well, our special guest here today has done the same thing, only it was slightly different because Governor Walker lives in a state that is not traditionally very conservative. And I'll tell you this, when he was elected governor in 2010, he inherited quite a mess. And what inspires me as a conservative is to see someone like Governor Walker go up and implement those ideas, those policies that we know will work each and every time they're tried. We know under Ronald Reagan, even Jack Kennedy back in the 1960s, who implemented tax cuts to stimulate the economy. We know these conservative ideas work. And Governor Walker has a story to tell all across this country that if you send him to the White House, he will be able to implement those conservative policies and turn our country around. And it's exactly what we need. And it is why I am so honored to introduce our special guest today. And it's someone that I hope will be, and I believe will be, the next president of the United States. A big Williamson County welcome for Governor Scott Walker.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Well, thank you. First off, I got to say before I mention anything about Jack, I want to say you were acknowledged before, but when we think about freedom, I'm going to talk about freedom for a few moments. Freedom endowed by our Creator, defined by our Constitution, but defended every single day by the men and women who proudly wear the uniform of these United States. Thank you again to all of you who have served, the families that have supported, and to those who still serve again today. Thank you. And you saw a great group of public servants up here. I've had a chance to meet a number over at the state capitol. I've been in a few times over here, but Senator Jack Johnson's just done a fabulous job. What a wonderful crowd. I think a testimony to the great job he's doing in your state house. What a great leader he is. Thank you all for joining us. You know, as I travel this country, whether it's here in Tennessee or across the country, I got to tell you, we live in a can-do kind of country. The men and women who just stood, who are recognized as our veterans, and those that they represent across this great country have made that so. We are a can-do kind of country. Unfortunately, with this president in Washington, we got a government that can't quite seem to get it done, or as I call it, Washington, 68 square miles surrounded by reality. But you know what, folks? It's not too late. It wasn't too late in my state. It's not too late in America. Help is on the way. We're going to turn this country around. As Americans, we understand that government doesn't create jobs. People do. And the way to grow the economy is in cities and towns and villages all across America by getting government out of the way. As president, I will get the federal government out of the way so we can grow the economy and increase wages. And we got a simple plan to do that. It starts with repealing Obamacare once and for all and putting patients and families back in charge of their health care decisions. As you talk about growth, you talk about reform. To me, though, to prosper, we need to live in a safe and a stable world. Under President Ronald Reagan, we rebuilt our military. We stood up for our allies. We stood up against our enemies. And without apologies, we stood for strong American values, and that brought about one of the most peaceful times in modern American history. We did it back then. We can do it even better going forward. We need to lead again. Sadly, though, today, under the Obama-Clinton doctrine, we're leading from behind. We're leading from behind, and that has us headed towards a disaster. We got a president who actually called ISIS the JV squad. Yemen, a success story. And Iran, a place we can do business with. Iran is not a place we should be doing business with. As president, I will terminate the deal with Iran on day one. We need a president in America who understands that Israel is an ally and start treating Israel like an ally again. And we got a president who literally earlier this year proclaimed that the greatest threat to future generations was climate change. Well, Mr. President, I respectfully disagree. The greatest threat to future generations is radical Islamic terrorism, and we need to do something about it. We need to lead again. We need to secure the border of this great country, enforce the laws of this country, no amnesty, and go forward with a legal immigration system that gives priority to American working families and their wages. And we need to honor We need to honor our men and women in uniform by giving them the resources that they need to keep us safe. We need to arm them here on American soil so they can keep themselves safe. You see, our goal should be peace. Peace through strength. But there will be times when America must fight. And if we must, America's fight to win. We fight to win. The rest of the world must know that there is no greater friend and no worse enemy than the United States of America. You know, what has made America great all throughout our history, what has made us exceptional, what has made us the greatest country in the history of the world, has been all throughout times of crisis, be it economic or fiscal, military or spiritual. What has made America amazing, it's been all throughout those times. There have been men and women of courage who've been willing to stand up, and think more about the future of the next generation than they thought about their own futures. I would submit to you right now, right at this place, right at this time, this is one of those moments in American history. I love America. I know you love America, and to make this country fulfill its potential going forward for many, many more generations, I'm asking for your help. I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for your vote, not because I want the title, because I want to accept the call to stand up and help this country together make America great again. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for supporting Jack. God bless you. God bless Tennessee. And may God continue to bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Governor Scott Walker, everybody. Wow, wow. Well, if I hadn't had a chance to say hi to you, please do so. Thank you again for being here. God bless you. Thank you.